The Hunter and the Silent Witness. In a village nestled between the thick rainforest and the rolling savanna, there lived a hunter named Kofi. Kofi was a man of great skill but even greater ego. He didn't just want to catch game, he wanted the entire village to sing songs of his greatness. One morning, Kofi ventured deeper into the bush than he had ever gone. He pushed through vines as thick as a man's thigh until he reached a clearing where the air felt heavy and still. There, sitting on a moss-covered stone, was a bleached white human skull. Kofi, being a man who liked the sound of his own voice, laughed and poked the skull with his bow. "How did you get here, old one?" he mocked. "What brought you to such a lonely end?" To Kofi's horror, the jaw of the skull creaked open, and a dry, hollow voice replied, "Talking brought me here." The race to the king. Kofi didn't wait for a second sentence. He dropped his bow and ran. He ran until his lungs burned like embers, bursting into the village square and shouting for the chief. "A miracle!" Kofi cried, sweat pouring down his face. "In the deep woods, I found a skull that speaks. It has the wisdom of the ancestors and the voice of a man." The chief, a wise and patient man named Nana Ose, looked at Kofi over his gold-topped staff. "Kofi, the sun is hot today. Perhaps it has cooked your brain. Skulls do not talk. They are the remnants of what was, not what is. I swear by my father's spirit." Kofi insisted. "If I am lying, let the Great Spirit take my head." The chief grew grave. In those days, a man's word was his bond, and a lie to the king was a crime against the soil. "Very well," the chief said. "We will go. But mark this, if the skull speaks, you shall be the wealthiest man in the village. If it remains silent, you have mocked the throne and wasted our time. The penalty for that is death." The trial of silence. A procession was formed. The chief, his linguist, 2 royal guards with sharpened machetes, and a trembling Kofi trekked into the deep bush. After hours of walking, they reached the clearing. The skull was still there, perched on its mossy throne, staring into nothingness with empty sockets. "There!" Kofi shouted, pointing a shaking finger. "Ask it! Ask it how it got here." The chief stepped forward, his Kent cloth rustling against the grass. "Skull," he said with quiet authority, "the hunter claims you have a tongue. Speak to us." Silence. The only sound was a distant hornbill bird. Kofi broke into a cold sweat. "Old one, please. Tell them what you told me. Tell them what brought you here." Silence. Kofi fell to his knees, begging, pleading, and even shaking the skull. For an hour, the royal party waited, their patience thinning like a worn-out drumhead. Finally, the chief sighed and signaled to the guards. "A hunter who hunts lies instead of meat is a danger to us all," the chief declared. "Kofi, you have called your own fate." With one swift movement, the guards carried out the chief's sentence. Kofi's body fell to the forest floor, and his head rolled away, coming to rest right next to the bleached white skull. The last word. The chief and his men turned and walked away, their footsteps fading into the rustle of the leaves. Once the forest was silent again, the old skull finally creaked its jaw open. It looked at the fresh head of Kofi and asked softly, "How did you get here, young one?" Kofi's head opened its eyes, sighed a breath of wind, and replied, "Talking brought me here." The old skull clicked its teeth in a spectral grin. "Precisely," it whispered. And the forest went back to sleep. The wisdom within. In many African cultures, this story serves as a warning tale. It highlights 3 core pillars of traditional wisdom. 1. Discretion. Not everything you see or hear is meant to be shared. Some mysteries belong to the wilderness. 2. Humility. Kofi's desire for fame blinded him to the danger of the supernatural. 3. The weight of words. Once a word leaves your mouth, you no longer own it, it owns you.